I wanted to see you. I wanted to talk to you on your man in your face.
Absolutely.
You understand me? I knew a few places you was at. I could have pulled up, but I don't think that was gangster. I wanted to come look you in your face like a man and tell you how I feel.
Okay.
You understand me? Straight up like a man.
So what's the issue?
No sugar. Ain't no issue. If it was an issue, you'll feel me. I just come to let y'all know, stop, put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
And that was baby. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know who that was. What's happening, bro? What's happening?
Let me ask you something. When he say if it was an issue, you'll feel me. What do you think he mean by that?
Hey, bro. Hey.
That's how some shit. You're here in prison. So what you think he mean by that?
You know what he mean?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because I know. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
We can start the show.
It ain't gotta be no. If it was any misunderstandings, it'd be understood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Word, man. But we ain't here for the prison talk. That's Chaz in the building. That's my dog, Chris. You know what I'm saying? That's IC. You know what I'm saying? My dog's in the building. We here, man. We here to talk about young Jase Richardson, bro. We were kind of having some conversations before the show started. I got a list of strengths and weaknesses that I like to go over before we even watch the video. Normally, I try to go through this at the end. So let's just get into the strengths, right? But wait, before we get started, is anybody here a fan of Jase? I guess let's start there. Anybody a fan of his game?
I am, but not for the Pelicans and not at 7.
Why?
The ceiling. I think the Pelicans need a ceiling raiser. And Jase Richardson, even though he may be an upgrader over what we currently have at the point guard position, I think due to his stature, it's going to be hard for him to really impact winning basketball at a real high level, especially early on.
What about you, Chris?
I'm a fan. I don't necessarily like smaller guards, but I'll be honest. I like Jase a little more than I like Fears. I think he's a little bit. I just think his ability to create has a higher ceiling at the next level. I think he had a little bit more creativity with the way that he kind of gets his own. I think it's a nice little balance between his ability to score and play make. And I kind of see that. I see that translating a little quicker and a little easier for him than Fears. But that's just the eye test, right? I think he'll be a better defender at the next level. Small guards are small guards. Like, it's the history is the history with if we're talking about winning basketball long term. But regardless who the Pelicans take, I think they gotta be thinking about guys that, whether it's this year or next year, guys that can help them get some kind of consistency. Like, we've been talking about, I know Ivory talks a lot about playoff winning guys and what's helping teams win championships or what's helping teams contend. And you got to have a mixture of that as well. But I also need this team to figure out ways to even get there, to even be consistently in that conversation, consistently in a playoff race, in a playoff series, and then try to figure out what they need to do as an organization, a la Cleveland, a la Oklahoma City, some of these other small markets that are putting themselves in situations to contend right now, even Indiana.
What about you, Chaz?
I've seen the brother's name. I couldn't pick him out of a lineup if I was a white woman in the 60s. I have no idea how he looked or nothing about his game. But I will say this. My philosophy doesn't really change. I'm kind of on board with Chris and Ivory. But I feel like whatever you're doing at 7, given that you're already in this draft, I mean, you're out of the top 3. So now I feel like everyone's about on the same tier. I think the differences are a little bit, minimal. I think you got to go for the highest upside play possible. Personally, I would prefer to, if they were making the pick, I would prefer to trade back and give myself 2 chances or multiple chances at getting one of those high upside guys. You see what happened with OKC. They traded back, took Ousmane Dieng, who I was a bit of a fan of as an international prospect. And of course, they got J-Dub, who's doing incredible things. Not the other J-Dub, not that guy. They got the straight J-Dub, who's doing a couple, like some really good things. And for OKC right now. And yeah, but I'm not opposed to Jase. I think even with fears at 7, I don't hate it, but at 16, oh man, that sounds great.
So let's get into Jase's strengths and weaknesses. From what I'm seeing, he is an efficient scorer at all 3 levels. Looked like he shot 49% from the field, 41 from 3. 41 from 3 is never it's never gonna be a bad thing. He seems to be able to handle it. So and Ivory and Chris, it seems like y'all have watched more of him than Chaz and I have. Y'all can interject at any point in this. He seems to be an understanding player in pick and roll situations. As far as like the ball handling perspective of it, it's crazy because you think of who his dad is and his game. You look at his game, the height and the athleticism is not exactly there, but he seems to have he seems to be a decent finisher at the rim. He has.
I mean, look.
Go ahead.
Look, Lito. He so. And it's the Fears thing. Like, I think Fears played more minutes than Jeremiah. I mean, than Jase, right? But Jase's team went further in the tournament, right? And I remember watching. I think they played Auburn, and Auburn was like, Auburn had times where they would just decide, all right, we're gonna play defense now, and we're gonna shut everybody water off. We about to get in transition, and this game about to be over. But one thing I liked about Jase is that Jase was looking him in the eye. Like, he was going out here making crazy shots, getting to his spots, going to get some nice athleticism, and continuing to kind of keep Michigan State in the game. Auburn will go up 6-8. Jason make a play. He'll create for others. I think just the ceiling there is just a little bit high. I don't think you got a chance to fully see like what he's going to look like with a little bit more freedom with the ball in his hands. I think he was tasked to be a little bit more of a scorer. So that's the thing. Fears is ceiling. I mean, with Floyd might be a little bit better out the gate. They're both freshmen, but I think this conversation is good because you got to ask, like, there needs to be a conversation in that room, in multiple rooms. If we are going to pick a guard, whether it's 7 or whether you go back to 17, with 16, like Chaz mentioned, or you 10, 11, you need to be asking on your big board, regardless who falls to you. Is it Fears or is it Richardson? Similar to the conversation that we were having about Trey Johnson and Ace Bailey, or like the different conversations we had about some of the bigs that are going to be in question. So,
I mean, look, he's a smart basketball player from just from the readings I've seen from me. He's got obviously a basketball pedigree. 83% from the free throw line. Another good thing that I'm seeing, he's a low turnover guard. He competes defensively. He had a .792 stoppage percentage on defense. Now the cons, he don't have elite athleticism. He seems to struggle off the dribble. He's 6 foot and he's not a facilitator per se. So it kind of like you were just saying, his freedom offensively for me is kind of like in question, because how am I specifically a team like the Pelicans, like, ain't no real offensive creativity there. Like, how are we gonna use him? So
let's turn on the film and see.
Yeah. All right, man. Without further ado, let's get into it. As always, as always, no ceilings. NBA, like, subscribe, comment, fuck with them because they fuck with us.
Facts. They do great work.
We got any other sponsors, Lito?
Oh man, yeah. We got Scott Vignan. They fight for the win.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? 504-500, 1111. We got DraftKings. We got Sunshine John Deere. We got Standard Mortgage. We got 4D. We got Blue Moon.
Doing major things.
You know what I'm saying? Like
major moves.
What sponsor you want? Like which one you talking about?
Crystal Hot Sauce.
Oh, I forgot about
Company Burger.
Company Burger. Wow.
Theo's.
Look at IC, man. IC podding.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's go. 11 points a game, 1.9. 1.9 assists. Ugh.
Oh shit. Any idea how many attempts that was on 11 points?
No, but we could.
Well, if it's at 49%, it had to be about 5 attempts, 4.9, something like that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So he number 11. Okay,
that's tough.
He left-handed.
Yeah.
Right, put that on my cons. Hold on. All right, good.
Chill out, man. It's a
Oh, good cut.
Okay. Being left-handed, all right, man.
I'm thinking about I'm thinking about I get Morris Peterson flashbacks, boy. Morris Peterson.
Mo Pete.
Hey, he tough on these one leg fades. That's a shot. Oh, that's a 2 foot. All right.
That's something the Pelicans really been missing from the guard position. That's something I really like seeing with Antonio Reeves is that intermediate game.
Yep.
And I was hoping we see more of that from Kyra because he showed some flashes of being able to get to his spot, hit that floater. Even Dyson had to, get to that spot. That's the shot that's always open for the Pelicans.
Boy, feet be set.
He don't look super skinny neither.
He don't. Like in real time, he really don't. He does look small on the floor though.
He looks shorter. But he don't look super skinny. So that's good. Oh, that shot, them shot mechanics remind me a little bit of Cameron Payne.
Oh.
Did y'all see that? Oh, it made my screen glitching.
I didn't. Good finish.
Oh.
I like to see him shoot it again, so okay.
All right, maybe it was one shot.
I see what you're saying. I understand though.
It's like the deep gap, like he's shooting all his legs. And I
don't like his shot pocket. If we being like honest, especially being so short.
Now that I'm seeing it a few different times, but it looked like a shot that's going to draw a lot of fouls on the three because his elbow's so far out.
Well, that's another con of his game from what I was reading about him. He don't get to the free throw line very much at all.
Okay, that's bad for a guard.
Well, I mean, so here's the thing, right? Because he also, he spent time with, like, he wasn't the only guard there or the primary guard there. Of course, being a freshman at Michigan State, like,
okay,
like you wonder, what?
Izzo.
You wonder Izzo. He ain't gonna necessarily let a freshman do everything. So you got guys like, I think, like the senior Atkins was there. He had the basketball. They had Holloway off the bench. Like it was other. It wasn't just Jase Richardson show.
Let me ask y'all something. So, all right. So Izzo, I don't remember a lot of guards from Michigan State. The last guy from Michigan State I really remember was Denzel Valentine.
Oh, what a stinker!
So how do y'all feel about that program producing quality players? I mean, of course you got Draymond, but.
I mean, I could say that. I could say they produce NBA most of the time. They produce NBA ready guys.
So let's see. So we got some recent ones of Max Christie in Dallas.
Okay.
Triple. Oh, he said guards. Okay. Yeah.
Gary Harris.
Whoa, wow. That's a little while ago. But Gary Harris was solid at one time.
Let's see. You mentioned Denzel Valentine. Miles Bridges was a little bit ago. I'd have to look in regards to recent. I'd have to look in regards to recent off the top of my head here. I looked up some stuff, but I can't really find a whole bunch here as of late.
What I'm seeing with bro, and it's not really him. Like for me, it's about everyone, particularly at the point guard position, because that's one of the tougher transitions to make into the league. And you got a couple of like on ball players. So my thing is, if you're picking at 7, are you comfortable? See, if you can play a shooter at any point, right? Shooter don't have to necessarily be NBA ready. But if it's a guard, are you comfortable with saying, look, you may not play, and because I don't want to kill your confidence too early necessarily. So if it's someone you draft at 7, if it's a guard, are you comfortable with a guard potentially not playing much out the gate or in the first year? Because you're trying to win.
Yeah, I don't think the Pelicans have that luxury.
So you think they get them, they gotta play him, like especially with the Murray injury. So yeah,
right. And the pick swaps with Milwaukee, you have to be good next year.
Yeah, facts.
Hey. Ivory, what does it say to you about a guard playing at that kind of program? That's a freshman that was as efficient as he was in his first year.
That he has high basketball IQ to be able to compensate for his physical stature. He's obviously, his dad played in the league, high basketball pedigree. Used to playing against pros. Probably had elite training since young, so he was able to step in a situation like a Michigan State and be comfortable. Obviously, as this tape shows, he looks comfortable shooting the ball, handling it. I just think it's going to be just a little bit different on the next level with elite athleticism and size that he'll be going against at the next level. I think could give him some problems.
That's my fear in comparison to a guy like now I don't know his combine numbers as compared to Fears, no pun intended, but that's my fear in comparison to a person like that, because he does have such quality athleticism from what I've seen that to me that's a bit of the equalizer from his lack of stature, so to speak. Like you can always gain weight, you always get stronger, but if you got that first step, and he got an incredible handle. Now this brother look like he's scoring in an array of ways that I haven't really seen from Fears.
Yeah.
So that's also something.
Yeah.
So
he definitely a multifaceted scorer, and his penchant for even scoring on taller defenders, I ain't gonna lie, is really something to be, talked about, because a lot of times, like I think I talked about his poor. He was below average at getting to the free throw line. But I'm looking at these layups and I'm looking at these finishes.
He got a lot of ways to score that I'm saying, like for real.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a question of him embracing. Yeah, like if he embraces physicality, if he shows the ball a lot when he drives to get those fouls, because that's like it's really a craft. To me, jumping off the screen to me is like I see a microwave guy off the bench.
Yeah.
Like that's what's jumping off the screen to me, like solid starter microwave guy off the bench.
Crazy enough, much to your point, I don't think he gonna have a problem adjusting scoring wise to the NBA, because I mean, the one thing bro could do is shoot, and he can score in a variety of ways. So I got a question for y'all though. Do you see a difference just in his release, in his shooting mechanics from mid-range to versus him shooting a 3? Am I tripping, or do y'all see that?
I see it. It looked like he's shooting a lot more from like his core, and he's really like winding and powering up when he shoots the 3. He looks a lot more comfortable in the mid-range.
Yeah, it's like I thought I was tripping. It looked like a more fluid shot.
Yeah.
Oh,
like he shoot from the 3, like he's shooting the fucking spirit bomb.
I see a young Mike Conley here.
I'm glad you said that. I was gonna ask y'all, how tall is Mike?
6 foot, huh?
Mike a little tall.
Mike
I think
about
Mike
this
about
size.
6'3". I
6'3".
think he about 6'3".
The thing that's scaring me with him, and I gotta keep in mind, this is the college game. If you want to pass first, motherfucker, go watch Kendall Marshall, right? But I just don't see him facilitating at all.
Oh no, Mike kind of 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of see, okay,
I mean, he weighing 11. Shit.
yeah, that probably is like his guy. So you actually probably like Mike Conley.
You know what though, Chaz? I finally see the and it might be is Campaign left-handed?
Yes, no, is it?
Mm,
He is.
I believe so.
But when I like that his catch in the corner, it looked like
Oh, that
Campaign.
right there, yeah.
But that's why I asked if Campaign is left-handed because like you know, speaking to known facts, a lot of left-handers, especially like guards, have awkward-looking shots. Like Derek Fisher got one of the most awkward shots you'll ever see.
True.
You know what I mean? But you know, he a lefty.
Right.
You know?
He looked like a very smart. Like watch him. He looks like a very smart player.
I'm with Ivory, man. He definitely has some NBA training, you know.
Oh, they go playmaking. Okay.
Good pass. Good vision.
What did he average in college?
Assist 1.9.
Yeah. Say that again.
1.9.
Oh man,
it's about to be 4 plays.
I thought you said 3.9. I was like, that's not bad. 1.9. Did you pass the fucking ball?
So because Fears averaged about 4 a game.
Yeah.
But he almost averaged damn near 4 turnovers a game too. So
that's another thing. Yeah.
You know, it's a give and take pause with with both players. I think Fears appears to be I don't know, man. I mean, I don't think that there's much of a difference. I could talk myself into either of these guys.
Yeah.
But I like, and I know we're only looking at highlights, but I like the array of things on the floor that I see from Richardson a little bit more than I like Fears. And I see just how it translates right away because of the shooting, because of some of the things we're watching him do off the ball, on ball, like those things. It's going to translate to him not like, let's say he's not a guy that's going to be having a basketball in his hands, even though he's a point guard. Let's say that, if you want to do some things with him off the ball, you should be able to do it because his ability to shoot right away.
The thing
I see 2 different extremes in their range of outcomes. With Jase Richardson, I see more of a baseline player, like a floor raiser. Like what you're getting out of this kid. Like you get him in the late teens, early 20s. I think that's a great pick for that area. But Fears, his range of outcomes, I think he could be Trey Mann or he could be Darius Garland. And I think that can be concerning or it could be hopeful, depending on, your risk tolerance for, what you like to draft.
You raise a point that I kind of was thinking myself. I think Fears is a bit more boom or bust player, especially given his age and his shooting. So for me, I like to look at it like, best case, even if in the best case scenario, let's say Jase is Fred VanVleet, right? This hypothetically speaking, so we can put a name on it. And let's say Fears is Darius Garland, right? To me, I'm like, if I could trade back and get Fred VanVleet, I'll just take Fred VanVleet. Because the potential for a bust is so low as compared to, what Fears may or may, not turn into. But I do think for the Pelicans, though, man, you gotta go for the home run every time just because of the market. And if you plan on being good, you're not picking in the lottery often. So anytime you pick in the lottery, don't get somebody who already as good as they're gonna be at whatever skill they have. Just you need to find that underground jewel that can outplay his contract and maintain some value, almost like what Messi was able to do a little bit. At least he held on to some value, especially for given where you picked him. That was a nice dump off.
I mean, look, man, I'm looking at his passes. He don't have a whole lot of assists, bro, but got good vision.
He looked like Drew Holiday passing the ball to y'all.
He got a flair, bro. He creative. His passes got some flair to him.
All right, defense. Maybe it's the number 11, but I see a little Drew Holiday. Maybe it's the number 11. That's getting me.
Okay.
So I mean, on some of the comps, and that's also interesting. Like, you know, I've seen Tony Parker, and I've seen
Tony
Derek
Parker.
White.
Tony Parker.
I've seen Tony Parker. I've seen Derek White.
Derek White made more sense than Tony Parker.
I mean, where's some
Jesus?
Some of these other comps, man. Like, let me see here.
Yo, he blocking a lot of shots, though.
No, I hate when people go that far back into comps. Cause it's like Tony Parker didn't shoot threes for like a long time in his career. It was crazy.
Eric Gordon, we got.
I seen Eric Gordon a lot.
Our Eric Gordon?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no, he don't have that burst like Tony Parker.
I would say Eric was pretty explosive. Like he had he was pretty athletic early on. One thing I have noticed, I haven't seen him dunk.
He had a couple.
Yeah.
He had a couple dunks?
He has a couple. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm becoming a fan watching this. I know it's the highlights, but I'm becoming a fan of his game.
Hey, you know what though, bro? I hear people say like, highlights don't show you a lot. Oh, I disagree, man. I think you could learn a lot from somebody from their highlights.
I agree, 100%.
The mentality is something like the type of aggression they play with, the pace, like this dude, he seems to be someone who competes on that side of the floor. And a lot of this right now is him getting off ball, relocating, him rotating defensively, the shit that gets rookies in trouble, especially like guards, that will get them off the floor. So, I mean, look, man, if it was, I know that there are people and, specifically people in the comments and, even in here that may prefer Fears. And maybe that is the pick if the Pelicans ultimately end up taking. Maybe Fears is the better, has the better ceiling. But if you ask me today, who I think or who I trust to be the better guard, it's Jase.
I had a question for y'all because I was thinking about this, and once I got the name, it kind of made it a bit more relevant. So looking at the history of the Pistons and the Pelicans drafting guards, right? It's a very, very, very shaky ground that they on, right? Because like when I looked at it, I was like, all right, let's just start from the Griff era on. So you got Kyra Lewis, you got Didi Lozada, you got Dyson Daniels, you got Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Now, a couple of those players, two out of the league, and neither of the other two are considered like guards anymore. They kind of just, it's like a 3-and-D wing now, and Dyson is like a defensive ace now. And when you go to the Pistons side, I don't count Cade and I don't count Jaden because those were like consensus picks where they were drafted at. But when I look at the Killian Hayes, Jordan Hawkins. I'm just looking at all these guards, and now I have to ask myself, now that those two buildings combined, I'm like, can y'all really evaluate guards? Can y'all evaluate backcourt players? Because that's a little scary to me, like thinking about it. What do y'all think of that?
You asking? Do
you trust them to evaluate those two organizations, given who they've historically drafted? Do you trust those two this organization with the people in the building to evaluate backcourt players?
Man, you know what's crazy, bro? Me and Ivory was having this conversation prior to the pasta. Like this before you got on, and I was like, to be honest, my immediate answer would be no. But I'm like, I can't really blame them for Griff sins like this particular because this is a whole new regime, so I can't really I can't say. I don't have an answer yet. It's incomplete because I need to see the draft to see how it goes.
Right.
The philosophy of it is, it's my question. Are you drafting a player or you drafting a fit? And the Pelicans have a few examples over the past few years of guys that they drafted for fit.
Like Hawkins,
and for Hawkins. So even Dyson at that point in time, like they thought he was a point, or they framed him as a point, and they thought how he would fit around what they had already versus maybe no matter the position, just picking whatever the best overall player on their board. Let's say it could have been Dyson, but Hawkins would probably be the best example of that. Maybe Messi. They didn't have a center. So 21, you pick Messi. It was kind of the easiest, the easiest selection that we had, the nastiest secret that we had.
Path of least resistance.
Yeah. So, that's what I'm curious about. No matter what really position that they pick, because from a guard situation, these are. If they pick Fears or Jase, these would be the first point guards that they've taken since Kyra.
Dyson, right?
Well, I mean,
probably real point guards since Kyra.
Because Dice, even if you thought that he had some point guard ability, everyone said he was a connector. Most people should have said he was a connector more so than an actual point. We talk about actual guys that are going to be slotted at point guard. If they pick one of them at 7, these will probably be the first opportunity that you had since Kyra. And they whiffed on that. Not even losing the coin flip because Maxey went at
right. You could have got Cole Anthony. You didn't get it. You didn't even get Cole Anthony.
They fell in love with speed, versus can this motherfucker play basketball? What kind of mentality does this dude have night in and night out? And I mean, I think with either or, that's gonna have to be the ultimate question with this new regime and setup.
What you think, Ivory?
I'd be lying if I was say I wasn't a little pessimistic. But Troy Weaver, he was there. He was responsible for like the Asar Thompson pick, wasn't he?
Yes.
Okay. All right. It ain't all doom and gloom. I hope that the time that Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver have come to the situation, they've kind of learned from their mistakes, some where they erred, and kind of learn and how they could be better evaluators and pickers. But so I'm gonna be open minded and give them the benefit of the doubt that that they have learned from those draft selections, not all doom and gloom.
Oh, my bad. I forgot. I got to mention, I think Troy Weaver, he the one who found Russell Westbrook, right?
Yes.
All right, so I got to give him props for Russ.
Yeah.
And a lot of people did not like that pick at the time.
Yeah. James Harden too, wasn't?
Was it James Harden too? Damn. If he did, then man.
He had a run in OKC. Sure. I think you could, if I'm not mistaken, you probably could put Ibaka on that list too. I'm not 100% sure about it.
So here are some of the more recent ones, right? So he drafted, you said Cade already, said Ivy. So you got Thompson, you got Jalen Duren, and he also drafted Isaiah Stewart. So I mean,
I'd be happy with that, yo.
Now those are the wins. Those are the successes. Right. But when we're talking about the core of this team right now, that's the core. That's them. That is the core of this Pistons team. He is responsible for it. But here's the thing: is Bryson is still in this organization, right?
Right.
Do we know what Bryson's role is going to be? Is he going to go to a little bit more of what he was doing before Trajan left?
I think given the other hire from Portland, forget the guy's name, he also had some experience with Joe Dumars in Detroit. another scouting guy. It's like you kind of taking all of you're neutralizing all of Bryson's skill sets. Like there's an overlap there. So now I'm kind of like, all right, Bryson, do you really have any first round wins? Like if I'm speaking from Joe Dumars' perspective, like, do you have any real first round wins? Or did you find like a cool guy in Antonio Reeves? Did you find like, are you the one who found Herb? Like, are you the one? Like, how much? See, the Pelican situation is so complex because you don't really know who's responsible for what. Like everyone's taking credit, everyone's passing the buck. It's like all this stuff is happening at the same time. So I'm like, well, Bryson, if you've been here this whole time, kind of makes you responsible for the money I lost, right? Makes you responsible for the money I lost.
Yeah.
But if you just got into power, maybe you just the guy who found Antonio Reeves and Messi. So now that makes you look a little better. So it's tough to call. It really is.
So well, shit, man. That kind of makes me wonder about Troy Weaver. If I'm thinking, I'm not exactly sure, but who's the second pick of the draft this year?
You mean Dylan Harper?
Should be Dylan Harper.
No. I'm sorry, not this year. I'm sorry, I meant last year. Who's this? Who's the?
Was it
Alex?
Sarr?
Yeah, it was Sarr.
Yeah.
Sarr?
Wait,
So
no. Yeah, right.
Ricochet went one. Sarr went two.
Yeah.
So that would mean Troy Weaver had a hand in Sarr and what's the guard? What's the guard, Chris? We mean Bub
Carrington.
Would Troy Weaver have had a hand in that? Right?
He was the what was he? He was like the senior vice president or something. No, he had like a weird. He was an advisor. He was just like an advisor. So I don't know. I don't know.
So I'm asking that. I'm asking that to say I'm going down his track record. I'm going down his list of accomplishments or failures. It seems like when you give him the
so
ability,
funny.
This is crazy. This is money laundering, dog.
It's like. Technically, Troy was in the room, and he shook his head. Yeah. So he kind of responsible. Like you can say, you can manipulate this shit however you really want to. If you want to be real.
Right.
It's like he seems to draft well. He seems to understand the draft process and how to scout players. Mm-hmm. He seems to fail when it comes to free agency and trades.
What I was looking at, because that was Joe Dumars' Achilles heel as well. Like some of the free agent deals he gave out, Jesus, boy, if I was about 6'8", say I run through a brick wall for you, Joe. Give me about easy 40 million. But looking at his trades, his free agent acquisitions, it's like, I don't know. It would take me knowing where his level of self-reflection is at, right? Because a person can say, well, I won a championship. I had like 6 Eastern Conference Finals appearances. I went to the finals twice, doing it my way. The league, I didn't give up on y'all. Y'all gave up on me. So now things are back the way it was when I was running things with the two big lineups, et cetera, et cetera. But and Bryson, I don't think Bryson ever really had any real like say, especially via trades and things like that. So now it's just all so convoluted. But what I will say is with the Pelicans and with all of those teams, with all those executives, everyone seems to do better when there's less pressure and less like room for error. That's why I think they're gonna find an upperclassman and go with the safest pick possible or trade back and get, like, because I'm looking at pick 7, historically, Dumars and Weaver have some bad selections at 7, bro. Like, even like with some of the ones they hit on, like with Greg Monroe left after the rookie contract. He just went straight to Milwaukee. They didn't extend him. They have a lot of rough picks at 7. Killian Hayes, of course. So I just don't know, man.
And Chaz, the caveat as Ivory was saying, like if you're committing to let's say 2 years to Zion, no matter what. Let's say these next 2 years, you're gonna see what you got with Zion, no matter good or bad. You are not doing that to rebuild or to punt a season.
Right.
Like
Facts.
you're not with that talent. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of commitment with someone going into their 7th season. So that's you should, what you mentioned about an upperclassman needs to be something that people should consider. Or if it is a freshman, you gotta expect that person to be someone who was legit and is as fully developed of a freshman that you could expect. Or some, a situation in which they trade up. There are some, some partners or some teams I could consider or see them having an opportunity to, have a match with towards trading up. So, but a project doesn't seem to be in the cards. Whoever they pick, if they stay at 7, it got to be somebody that you think is going to contribute right away.
And
Chris,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm excited to talk about our next prospect.
Well,
I see.
Well, shit. Let's get to it then. Before we get out of here, you got the 7th. We got the 7th pick. Chaz,
Right.
Are you drafting Jase?
No.
Chris.
Wait, I'm trading back.
You trade, okay. Chris, you drafting Jase at 7?
Nah, but you get to like 10. Yeah, it's gonna be too many other. Because all right, so wait, hold on.
See, we all copping out, kind of like we all copping out.
Fuck it. Yeah. Because if it's him or Fears, I take Richardson. I don't think it's the greatest of value. Because I think Richardson will probably be there after 10. So I mean, we talking strictly value, no. But am I taking a player? Probably, because a lot of people got the Pelicans slotted to take, Khan. We talked about it. Like, I know he's gonna be in the league 10 years, but I don't know if I would take him. Like, regardless of what he could do, I'm just not, I'm not gonna take him. There's thoughts about Maluwat. So with all these different players, regardless of their skill set or their specialty, there's questions, and there's people that like them and people that don't like them. It's gonna be the same with Jase. If the Pelicans come out and say, we like this dude at 7, we don't care what nobody say, and he's gonna be the guard of our future, based on what I'm seeing, I could buy into it. Even if from a value perspective, it's probably the wrong pick.
Okay.
I can't wait for this draft. I'm so excited for this draft because this draft is going to get a lot of people fired. But to answer your question, Lito, no, I would not take Jase at 7. If I could trade back some spots and get him, I would possibly entertain that. But at 7, no.
Yeah.
He just doesn't jump off the screen enough for me at 7.
Well, that's that's it, man. Shit, we that's it. That's in the show then. Fuck.
Wait, I had a question for y'all though. I had a question for y'all because something came up today with the Nets.
Okay.
So the Nets are potentially interested in getting an additional lottery pick, right? And the Nets got like 3 first-round picks. So that's 4 first-round picks, right? So because they got that Milwaukee pick as well. So that's really the team that you're looking to do business with because they're not looking to be good next year. Even if they were to acquire a star, they don't have enough like outgoing salary. They got to get some salary back. They got a lot of things they need to do. If the Nets call you and say, look, give us 7 and we'll take on a bad contract from you, and we'll give you 2 of our picks, would y'all be open to that?
For me, absolutely.
Let's say it's 19 and I think they got 25 and 26 and like 30, right? Something like that. Let's say it's 19 and 26. That's far back in the draft.
Yeah, that's a little too far now.
It's too far back.
Well, you know what? They also have 8, but I know they're not trading 8. The bad contract. I'm like, for me, I'm only doing this if I'm trading DeJounte. If y'all taking DeJounte, I'm doing it.
Ivory, your boy Renard gonna be there at 19 and 25.
No, he's not.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, Ivory, wild, bro.
He's not. He won't be.
No, we gonna watch this draft live. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I gotta pull up for the draft, man.
For sure.
All right, man. I'm about to end this one. We ain't telling y'all what we doing. Don't worry about it. We be right back. Peace.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. And thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.